Today, I'll answer some of the internet's most burning questions on dieting and building muscle at the same time. So let's get started. Okay, Doc. Can I call you Doc? I've been struggling like crazy. Please tell me, is it possible to lose fat and build muscle at the same time? Well, first of all, yes, you can call me Doc. My real name is Dr. Rajagopal, so that's kind of hard for people to say. Your actual question was, is it possible to lose fat and build muscle at the same time? And it absolutely is. For losing fat, you really need to be in a calorie deficit, taking in less than you're putting out as far as your energy is concerned, or you can look at doing something like an intermittent fasting or a ketogenic diet. As far as building muscle, you do have to put in the work for this, so you do need to do some exercise. I usually recommend resistance training or weight training because that's going to be the most effective way to build muscle. Can somebody dumb it down for me? What's the difference between the keto diet and intermittent fasting? Will I lose fat with both? Will I gain muscle with both? And how does it happen? #explain like I'm 5. I hope you're not actually on a diet and actually 5 years old, because that would be maybe a little too young to start dieting. The keto diet and intermittent fasting are a little bit different. They kind of have the same effect on the body though, in that they really help you sort of melt the fat away. Keto diets are where you're carbohydrate restricted. So you really aren't taking in carbohydrates. This puts your body into a ketogenic state, so it's burning fat instead of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are a little easier for the body to digest. So once you cut those out, you burn more fat. Intermittent fasting is where you are fasting for a certain period during the day and eating for a certain period during the day. So the most common breakdown that I see is 8 hours a day where you're eating, and then the rest of the day you're fasting. For most people, this would look like maybe waking up sometime between 6 and 8 a.m. and then you don't eat anything until noon, and then you would have your couple of meals between noon and 8 p.m. and then you wouldn't eat anything again after 8 p.m. until noon the next day. So that again puts your body into a ketogenic state, so you're burning fat. As far as building muscle, you do have to work out. I heard that the keto diet lets me eat mountains of bacon and lose fat. I need this to be true. God, let this be true. Sorry, it is not true. I think it really comes down to you are what you eat. You do have to have a little more variety in your diet than just bacon. And so bacon is not on the no eat list, but you do have to be careful about what you eat, and you can't just eat bacon, and you really do have to mix in as many other food groups as you can, like vegetables, for example, are a great way to get a lot of healthy fiber, make you feel full, and also are very good for you. Listen, I went low fat during fasting. I want to work out, but I feel like I had energy sucked out of me. What's wrong with me? This is pretty common. There's something called the keto flu, where people start feeling fatigued and headachy and just really crummy when they first start a keto diet. And the good news is this goes away after a couple of weeks. The time frame depends on the person, but you really just have to stick with the diet. How intense should my exercises be when I'm fasting? I'm kind of scared of pushing too far. Yeah, this is another great question. If you're fasting and you feel terrible, then I wouldn't push it too far. If you're feeling dizzy, you're feeling lightheaded, first make sure you're well hydrated. So make sure you drink plenty of water even though you're fasting. If you're feeling better, your body is adjusted to this new fasting state, then absolutely push it. There's a lot of ultra marathoners who actually engage in these fasting diets, and so they do a lot of physical activity while fasted. And so it really just depends on giving your body time to adjust to this new diet, and then also doing what works for you. I am on a weight loss journey. Wonderful. I am losing weight at a good rate, but not inches. Why? My reflection is not getting happier. Oh, that's so sad. So you're losing weight. That's great. So keep that up. When you first get a new diet or start a new diet, you can retain water differently, you can have fat distributions on your body change, and so you may not be seeing inches come off in the places you want them to be coming off. You may be losing some water weight. So just stick with it. Losing the inches will come. It just takes a little persistence. When should I exercise? During the fasting window or during the eating window? Which one is more beneficial? God damn it, I need answers in all caps. This sounds very serious. So I really think this just depends on what works for you. If you feel terrible working out when you're fasting and you just really haven't adjusted to using different energy stores than your body's used to, then you may want to skip exercising while fasting, especially if you're just starting out on one of these diets. If you feel great working out when you're fasting, then go for it. There's not really any indication not to, and sometimes people feel like it's more effective for their weight loss to do that. Should I still count calories while doing intermittent fasting and exercising? With intermittent fasting, you don't have to be quite as careful with counting your calories as you would with a calorie restricted diet or a diet where you're restricting fat or something like that. However, it does still matter. You can't consume 5,000 calories a day and only burn 2,000 calories a day and expect to still lose weight. I would be cautious about what calories you're taking in. I would still be cautious about what types of foods you're consuming. So make sure you're still following sort of a healthy, well-balanced diet. And then with exercising, make sure you're getting enough nutrition so that you can still exercise effectively and not get injured. I was doing keto for a long time, but couldn't gain muscle. I did lose some fat, but then it just stopped. And my cravings are getting insane because of my workout. Help me, what should I do? Okay, help me was in all caps. So again, this is very serious. That is kind of a bummer, but sometimes you just have to switch up what you're doing. So if you were on keto before, I would probably recommend switching to intermittent fasting and see how you do with that. And if you're feeling like you are starving with your workouts, maybe consider throwing in a protein shake before you work out and try exercising during the window while you're still eating if you're switching to an intermittent fasting diet. I'm on keto, but I have a different kind of burning question. How do I approach a beautiful woman in my gym? How you doing?
I'm okay.
What?
No, skip the Joey Tribbiani. Say hi, and you guys are both at the gym, so you have something in common, so you could probably talk about that, but I'm sure it will go well once you actually start talking. Okay, so I'm on a keto diet, and I've been kind of lazy with exercise. Don't roast me on this, but will my muscles evaporate? I need answers. I'm not sure if your muscles are evaporating or your brain is. No, I'm just kidding. Your muscles aren't gonna evaporate, but if you aren't using your muscles, there's no reason for your body to keep them around. Whew. I feel like I burned some calories answering this questionnaire. I'm gonna finish up this verbal workout with some stretching and a delicious protein shake. If you feel like any of my answers were helpful, smash that like button and subscribe. May we meet again and stay healthy.